In a difficult time like this, I'm getting a lot of questions from friends and parents about whether or not they should let their kids watch the news. I think one of the first factors to take into place is how old is your kid. So children below the teenage years really have a difficult time processing all the information that they're seeing. One thing to keep in mind is the way our brains are wired is actually that we experience every time we see an episode on the news as if it's a new thing. So it can actually feel very overwhelming, especially to children, to keep seeing even the same footage of something really difficult that happened. When you're talking about a lot of these difficult subjects, children's risk and their perceptions of how safe they are really vary depending on their community. So if you're in a place where the fear is actually about a daily safety, it's really a very different conversation. So one of the things that I recommend is to start off by asking the child what specifically they're afraid of. Sometimes you may be surprised. Then what you do is make a plan for each of the things. Sometimes kids are afraid of simple things like walking home, and you need a really good, solid, safe plan, which could be picking up or having friends or having access to communication so that they can get in touch with you. Other fears may be for family and friends. I think when you're having this conversation, it's really hard not to feel emotional, especially depending on how your direct community is affected. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone experiences risks differently. So when you have a chance to talk to your kids, make sure that you've had a chance to process some of what you feel too. If there's a direct fear, then there needs to be a direct plan. So, with a young kid, you can ask them, what are you hearing and what are you worried about? Your first job really is just to reassure them. This is a scary time, a lot of uncertainty, and they get so many different messages. Sitting down at a calm time and making sure the messages come from you is really important. Once they hit those teenage years, this is when they're figuring out what they think. So some access to news is almost impossible to control. So again, start off good, calm, quiet place and ask them, what are you thinking and what are you feeling? It's a good time to communicate your values. If you think about it, values are one of the things we want our kids to take with them. So strategies that only have them puppeting what someone else says really aren't a great long-term strategy. What we need is for them to be able to have a conversation with them. Sometimes it's going to help for you to process this ahead of time. You can talk to friends, family, other supportive people, get a sense of what you think, and then sit down for a dialogue with your teenager.